Hello everyone. Today we will learn what is Section 11 of the Indian Evidence Act that says when facts not otherwise relevant becomes relevant. So the principle of this section is any fact which either proves or tends to disprove the claim made in the charge is relevant, and it is also called the residuary section dealing with the relevancy of facts. So this section commences with the workings facts not otherwise relevant are relevant. It means to convey the facts although they are not strictly legally relevant but acquire relevancy by virtue of their connection with the existence or non-existence of other facts and thus become provable. So now let's start the section. Facts not otherwise relevant are relevant if they are inconsistent with any fact in issue or relevant fact. So inconsistency with the main facts of the case is the basis for the relevancy. There is a fact in issue or a relevant fact, and the facts which are not at all consistent with the fact in issue are also relevant under this section. Also, if the facts by themselves or in connection with other facts, they make the existence or non-existence of any fact in issue or relevant fact highly probable or improbable. So now let's see the illustrations. Illustration A. The question in the case is whether A committed a crime at Calcutta on a certain day. The fact that on that day A was at Lahore is relevant. How? Because Lahore and Calcutta are so distant that his presence on the place of Calcutta is highly improbable and also inconsistent with the fact in issue. That is, fact in issue is what? That whether he was present at Calcutta on a certain day or not. So although it's highly improbable and inconsistent, thus this fact that he was at Lahore is relevant. Now let's see the second illustration. It says the question is whether A committed a crime. The circumstances are such that the crime must have been committed either by A, B, C or D. So there is probability of committing the crime by A, B, C or D, 4 persons. So every fact which shows that the crime could have been committed by no one else except and that it was not committed by either B, C or D is relevant. So the commission of the crime by B, C, D is excluded. So there is higher probability of commission of the crime by A. So this fact is relevant. Now let's discuss 5 cases or 5 examples which shows or supports the inconsistency of a fact. First is non-access. So let's understand this through an example where the question is whether A is the legitimate son of B or not. The fact that B was in a far off country, the husband, at the time when the wife was begotten, and the mother remained throughout in India establishes non-access. So the husband was far off the country. It is sufficient to prove that he had no access with the wife and thus disproves the paternity of the child, that he is not the father of the child begotten. Second is plea of alibi. Alibi means elsewhere. The illustration A, where A was at Lahore and not at Calcutta, is the plea of alibi. And whenever the accused raises the plea of alibi, the burden of proof is on the accused to prove it that he was not at that place at the time of the incident. So another important point regarding alibi, the evidentiary value. The evidentiary value of alibi evidence will be greatly strengthened or has better evidentiary value if the alibi is set up at the earliest. it must be with greater credibility when it is set up at the earliest. Third is survival. So, where the question is whether A was murdered by B on a certain day, the fact that A was seen alive the next day or the subsequent day is highly inconsistent with the fact in issue. The fact in issue is that B killed A and also makes the fact in issue highly improbable. So, the fact that he was seen alive the next day is relevant. The fourth one is third person. That means the act is committed by any third person. So where the question is whether A has committed the murder of B by causing injuries, then the fact that A was killed by C, a third person, by inflicting injuries is relevant as it is inconsistent with the fact and issue that A has committed the murder of B by causing injuries. Sorry, B was killed by C by inflicting injuries. C is the third person. The fact in issue is that A has committed the murder of B, but it was shown that the fact that B was killed by C, so it is highly inconsistent and highly improbable. The fifth one is self-infliction. So an example where the question is whether A has committed the murder of B by administering poison. The fact that B committed a suicide by consuming poison is relevant as it is inconsistent with the fact and issue that A administered poison to B. So this is all about section 11 of the Evidence Act. Hope you all like the video.